right, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are, and in what time zone you are having, and welcome to our advanced webinar for showing the functionalities and the features. I just at the beginning would like to notify you if you can please mute your microphone because I still hear somebody in the background so that we can proceed with the presentation. My name is Marie Zametsnikova, and I am the community manager of Capacity4dev. And there is also with us Ariela De Genaro, who is Capacity4dev coordinator of DG International Partnership. Ariela, do you want to tell us something about today's webinar or add something at the beginning before we proceed with the webinar itself?
Just to welcome everybody. And thanks for being here in this important day of post-launch of the new site. Marie will explain you everything of the new features and functionalities, and we are happy to receive all your feedbacks today and in the next days about what you think and if you find any issues you would like to highlight. Thank you very much for being there.
Thank you so much, Ariela. And indeed, there was also some messages I get from the beginning that there was some technical issues. So apologize for this in advance. And I hope that everybody who wanted to connect at the beginning also did. So let me now proceed with the really important webinar of today's, which is also the first one where we are launching our new platform. So actually the official launch happened on 22nd of May, even though most of you who are group owners and administrators, you already had access the last week and you could be able to revamp all of your spaces in advance, so that yesterday when the launch was actually advertised on our social media channels, that all of the users would experience the virtual space to the fullest. So this is the banner that you might be already familiar with, either in our signatures or the Teams backgrounds, or also on our social media channels. And the hyperlink or the URL link for the Capacity4dev is right now capacity4dev.europa.eu, where you can also find the new platform. Just to tell you, one of the disclaimer is that the former platform will be available until 31st of May, and the former URL is europa.eu/capacity4dev.com. This is mainly in regards when, for example, you would like to compare your former space with the new one, and you would like to actually, for example, copy paste some of the text that was available on our former platform. You can do so until 31st May when it's still available. Also, there will be automatic redirection to our new site, so you don't need to be worried about that. For example, some of the members would just go on the former platform if you have shared, for example, some of the links on your social media in the past, then everything, all of the pages will be redirected to our new platform, which is capacity4dev.europa.eu. And now I would like to tell you what we will be covering today, because it will be mainly about the virtual tour, because I'm really sure that most of you are actually the experts on Capacity4dev or advanced users, so you already know what Capacity4dev is. Therefore, we will jump into the virtual tour on the platform itself, because I believe that the practice is the main goal of actually giving the practical webinar, so then you will be able to use it to its fullest potential. So at the beginning, I will be showing you the homepage and also the personalized feed. Then also we will be jumping into the navigation bar and the browse content, where you will find all of the content available on Capacity4dev. Also, we will be touching upon the profile and customized settings. Also, of course, how to create a group if some of you is interested into creating a group. And then also there will be this availability that you can share anything else into the chat if you want me to, for example, look at something more in detail. Don't hesitate to share it in the chat. So, for example, that you want me to cover rather how to manage members of the group, then don't hesitate to write it in the chat. Unfortunately, during the sharing of the screen, I'm not able to monitor the chat itself. However, after let's say 5 minutes of showing the virtual tour, I will return briefly into the chat to see if there are some requests. But I'm sure that probably this tour will be as complex as possible to answer all of your questions. And in the meantime, also our support team will be available in the call. If you have any questions alongside, they can answer it in the chat. But at the end of this webinar, you will also have possibility during the question and answer session to ask anything in the real time and unmute yourself and open your camera. Also, I would like to cover already now that we will be sending you at the end of this webinar a thank you note with the recording, as well as any additional documents, such as, for example, communication package, which you can use for disseminating about our new platform on your social media channels. Also, we already published it on our social media, so you can definitely just reshare it or use the banners and logos which we will be providing it to you on the social media channels. And then also we prepared for you a tutorial which is also available from today on our platform, which will guide you through the whole platform itself in case that you would need some additional onboarding on how to use the platform. And this all will be shared with you in the thank you note at the end of this webinar. So now the let me go to our website right here. I will be using the administrator profile, so you can disregard these two bars. This is mainly to show you the whole potential of the platform as the member, but also as the group owner and administrator. And right now, I am on my personalized feed of the profile. Usually, when you are not logged in, you will see the different groups and a bit of taste of Capacity4dev, how it looks, and also the different kind of information about our platform. So, for example, how many members are on the Capacity4dev, and also other information. However, I think that when it comes to the new platform, which we are seeing now, it's really important to mention the biggest change actually, which is the personalized feed. This is why I'm already logged in, and it's the personalized feed which is giving you an update regarding what you are interested in what countries and what topics, and also the latest community activities. So you can see here already the welcome to our new platform here, and also the webinar, and also who, for example, joined recently on our platform. Then you will find also the groups suggested for you, but not only. There are also projects which you will get based on your countries and your interests, which are very important, and also very well known Capacity4dev owners and administrator groups, where are all of the people who actually owns either groups or projects on our platform, and they will be able to find the up to date information inside this group. Then, of course, the events suggested for you, which is really important because it secured the interactive part of our platform. And this is also here on the right side. You can see a bar of my interest updates since the last month. So you can see how many of the resources, discussions, library items, and events were actually created or uploaded. Then you can also browse all community activities. But the main navigation bar on our platform, you can see here, the blue one, where you can, for example, go to the topics, which is a really strong tool on our platform where you can actually browse different content by the topic selected. So here, for example, let's say that you are interested in agriculture and rural development, and you will be able to navigate towards the different subcategories or also filter them by different keywords, as you can see. Or next to the topics, there is also countries, which is newly developed because we have actually a new feature, which is the interactive map. Here you can also search groups, projects, and other resources via the interactive map. So let's say that you are interested in Algeria, and here you can see an overview of how many groups, projects, and discussions or members are actually related to this specific country, which is very interesting and very important. So you can go to the country and actually see an overview of what is related to Algeria on Capacity for Dev. The next is articles. The articles actually get renamed because it's in the former platform it was voices and views, and here we are having articles. All of the articles are developed our editorial team in cooperation with the units of the European Commission, and you can find here the featured article. Which was also published by our editorial team, and then also filter them by keywords, topics, countries, are also article types. So let's say that you want to have a voices and views video, or again the countries such as Algeria, or the topics. And you can search for different articles here. The new feature of the new platform is also the resources. It's not that it would be new, actually, because before on our former platform, we also had resources. However, the new function here is to create a resource, which was actually not possible on our former platform. This makes resources more interactive feature on Capacity for Dev platform in case that you would like to actually create one. In this case, it serves as a sharing knowledge page, which you can set up. So you will need the mandatory fields such as name, resource type, also the summary of your resource, and the description. Then you should not forget to put the different topics or the countries. Don't forget that you can do maximum of 6 topics and 6 countries of each, because this will actually be setting up then kind of the search engine of Capacity for Dev. So if somebody would be interested in the same topics as you put it under, then it will show on their personalized feed. Then, of course, the banners. You will also be able to find here the different pixels and the maximum size of both. The banner is actually the one that you have when you go on the page and you see the main banner of the page of the group, of the project, or of the resource. And the thumbnail is the square, which is showing in the list. I will then show you more in details how it actually looks like. And then, of course, the visibility, public, restricted, or private. So you can choose these different visibility options of the resource. And then the related content, as we were also used to on our former platform. So you put the related projects. So if you are an owner of more spaces than just resource, you can put the related project, groups, or the article here, so that people can easily navigate towards the next content published on Capacity for Dev. And of course, the message to the site admin, this means to the community manager, me and Ariella, and we will be assessing your resource if it's related to the development. But I can assure you that in 99% percent we are actually accepting the proposals if they are really related to the development topics or EU funded projects. So, and then you just click on save. I will just go quickly now into the chat to see if there is some more requests actually to show or to uh, to show you. Um, yes, I see
And there
that.
are several questions. I didn't want to answer to each one written,
Mhm.
so I think it's better that we go through them then
Yes,
together.
definitely. I, for example, see here the publish articles and resources. So this is a really good question because this will be covered. Um, yes, and I can also go to the topic as an example, but you will also have then chance after today's webinar to explore yourself. However, for example, when we want to go to the 8 effectiveness. Oops, it was faster than I expected. But here you can see the 8 effectiveness has also the overview of what is it about the latest activities and also the users that joined in regards to this topic. And then you can browse through the different features with this topic per se. You also have the powerful filters that you can use to actually browse the content if you don't want to go just one by one here in the navigation bar. And indeed, the resources to publish the resources is actually that you click on create a resource. Then, when you create a resource, we are validating it as soon as possible. Usually, it's in less than 24 hours, and then you will have it as a draft, and you will be able to actually work on it before you click on publish. So you don't need to be afraid that, for example, people will see your draft content yet until you decide to do so. Here you also can find the community resources and also the featured resources on the resources tab. But the most interesting part is also browse content. And here you can find everything from the groups through projects, discussions, until even the events. And you can either click on it that you will see it more as a static page, or you just hover over it and there will be the second navigation bar popping up to you. So, for example, here, first, let's start with the groups and you will see actually the you will actually see the overview of the different groups which you can again filter by different topics. And if you want to create a group, you click here on the right top corner on create a group. And then it is similar to what we saw in the resources. So the name, summary, and the description. So the description is actually the one which will be then in the overview page, the information about, and the summary is the excerpt, the actually the small the small text that you see usually in the list of the groups, where you can see just by a few amount of the words what the group is about exactly this thing. And you can see this square, it's the thumbnail. Whereas when I go into a group, this is the banner that we were speaking about. And you have to submit both of these if you want to create a new group. Uh, and here I can see that I am not a member of Innovation Policy Network. So if I want to join, I just click on the button join and then join the group. Of course, it depends if the group is public, restricted, or private. Then there might be the moderation behind from the group owner or administrator. But this is actually how it works. You also have an overview of how many library items, discussions, or likes and members are inside the group. Also, the likes are renamed because on our former platform it was called Recommend, which was also not really visible and not really user friendly. However, now we have more. We have a friendlier option which is like and is quite visible here immediately when you go to any of the groups, and you can also share the content on the LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, or via email. So actually all of the platforms that we are active in. Then of course you have an overview which is telling you more about the platform itself, the description, who is the owner and administrators, as well as the related topics. If you, for example, then want to discover more about economics and public finance. Then, of course, the next is information, which is the former wiki page, where you will find migrated. If you had some of the wiki pages, you will find them migrated here in the folders. And just let me go back because there was something interesting. If you are a group owner administrator, you can here manage pages or add a new page. So it works on the similar basis as pages, where you can add pages. Also, you can on the page you can manage the pages. So, for example, if you decide to put the EU innovation policy higher, then you just click on Manage Pages, and you will just redo the different kind of the numberings, how they are positioned. Of course, then you have discussions, which were also migrated into the new platform, and where you can participate into the interactive content. So you click on the discussions, and you can see the details, what is the discussion about, and I can immediately participate in and comment in the discussion if I am part of the group. Then you have the library, which didn't change. However, inside the library now you have included also the media, which was before separated. So here you can find and also filter or also sort by most viewed or recently published members. So here you can contact the members who are inside your groups, and also browse by them and see how many contributions, for example, have, because now we have even more powerful tool for the contributions, because when you then go to the profile you can see how active you are and you can reflect on it afterwards. And the last but not least in the group is the events, where you can see then the list of the events that the group is about. And also, of course, the difference, between the groups and projects, whereas the groups is the interactive space where the people can discuss different problematics, different topics about the development. The project is rather a static page of something like external website, and it looks really similar to the groups. Here you also had this button of the group where you can manage the project or the group. So you can, for example, edit the project by a different type. So you can switch from program to project or put it as completed, not started, and update any information regarding the summary, description, start date, end date, and also other information that you were submitted at the beginning of your submission of.
Marie,
Yes.
there are some participants that are asking if you could go through a bit in bit more details this management part of the groups and the projects. So what you are doing now, but maybe with some more details.
Yes, so I was actually thinking about it that it would be more interesting for the group, which is more complex than the project. So here
Yep.
we can see the innovation policy network, and when you click on manage the group, of course you have the edit the group, which is similar as I was just showing with the project, where you can adjust any text that is set by you at the beginning, but it can happen that you, for example, want to adjust something, and you can also modify it. However, the most interesting, and I would say that frequently asked questions right now, since the beginning of the launch of the new platform, is actually for the managed members, because it's a bit slightly different, because here you have, let's say, a list of different members who are inside the group. You can also add a member here on the top right corner and invite an existing member, which when you click, it means that you know that the person actually has the account on Capacity4dev. So you just start to type the name who you would like to invite to the group. And it also happened to us that we were not able to find the person that we were looking for. And this is mainly because it's sometimes based on the username, which you can find in the profile of the user. So if you will not be able to find someone in this comprehensive list of the members, then do not hesitate to actually search for them by username. You can also choose either as administrator or member and click save, and the invitation will be sent to them. Also, you can invite a new member, which is that they will receive an invitation to their mailbox. This means that they don't have an account yet on Capacity4dev, and you write here multiple emails, one per line. So you always click and enter, and you actually create a list of different members or emails that you want to invite to your group, and write a message and send invite. I would like to go back to manage members, because now when we see that there is, for example, 6 members and one is owner, and we always encourage that there should be also more administrators, or at least one administrator alongside the owner, then you can change the role by clicking on manage, and here you can choose either administrator or the member of any of your members of the group that you are actually owning. When I'm going back to the group, there is also view pending members. So if you have the moderated group, where you have to accept all of the members who are actually wanting to be inside your group, then you will see them here in this list, and you will have to accept them because you selected moderated access to your group. Then, of course, drafts, where you can see the different drafts that people were submitting into your group. You can either look at the details by clicking on the title, or remove from the group, and also do other actions if the group requires it. Then you have view stats. So this is something that you are very well familiar with from the former platform, where you were able to actually very well actually able to download the CSV file to your computer. And here you have a really nice explanation of how to convert CSV file to an Excel file, which we were actually missing on our former platform. So then we were receiving a lots of questions about what actually a person should do with the comma separated value file, because when you see it for the first time, it's quite a mess, and then you need this kind of instructions on how to convert it to an Excel. And again, you can download it, or just see here by today, yesterday, last month, and or set the starting date, and the customized statistics will be then downloaded to you. Then also contact members. This is a really important feature because as a group owner and administrator, you want to reach out to all your members inside the group. So you click on contact members and you can select the subject, message, etc. And I very encourage you to actually try it right away after the webinar to maybe encourage people to look at our new platform and to try to post some discussion or to interact and to see how the new revised platform looks like. So you can already use it after the webinar to encourage all of the members, and you can contact them to use more of the interactions that are available for you on our platform. Then you can search, for example, for the discussions. And there is a bit of difference because you could also see that when we are on the group and when we go to the discussions inside the group, so let's say I will go to again Innovation Policy Network and to discussion, you can see that I don't really have like post a content here, or I cannot post it right away inside the group. And it's because there is this yellow button post content, which actually is here globally, and people can, for example, post content into the multiple groups at the same time. So you don't need to anymore, for example, copy paste the same content to the many groups and projects at the same time. You can just, for example, click on I want to start a discussion. Then you will be directed to select where to post. So I will, for example, say, okay, I want to post something on knowledge sharing and knowledge management for development, as well as in the public group on social protection. And then just click on the next, and I will be redirected to start a discussion. Here, you will be selecting the details as you are used to from our former platform, also the topics, also different countries. You can select a file if you want to include it there, edit location. If I, for example, change my mind that the content should be just in knowledge sharing group, so I can still change it here in edit location. And also I can see what is the status of the discussion and if I want to close the comments or not, and then post the content. So this is just in a nutshell how you can quickly post a content. This means create a news, create an event, start a discussion, and post a library item. Library item also includes photos, videos, and a document. As I said before, now it's merged. We don't have a media anymore in the group, so this is why you have these subcategories here to post the content as such. And then I would repeat myself if I would go through the library articles, also the big list of all members on our platform here, and you can filter them, or the list of all events globally of our platform. I would just like to briefly also go to my profile, where you can actually set up all of the topics and countries, which is really important for you to then get the personalized feed. And here, when you click on my settings, you can actually set up the most of the different sections, so such as description about me, so that people know who I am. Also, the LinkedIn profile, so that people can connect on our other platforms. Also, you can select different picture, and you can set the notifications daily, immediate, weekly, etc. However, I would like to note that the notifications are actually for the post MVP. This means that they will be developed throughout the year with the development. So it's not yet actually done. So I encourage you also, when you post some content on our platform, then don't hesitate to contact all of the members inside your group, because they will not get the notifications as it was on our former platform, and this will be available to you as soon as possible throughout the year of 2023. Then, of course, here you can find the list of my groups, project, and resources. Then the discussions, so discussions I was involved in, or also I commented on. And then what is interesting is my statistics, because here I can see the different numbers behind all of the content available on Capacity4dev. So, for example, I liked 27 discussions, I liked 11 events, etc. And you can, like this, track your statistics and to see if, for example, you should, let's say, more like the images or to interact with them. So this was about the profile really briefly, but I think that it gave you a bit of inspiration and a bit of clue about how Capacity4dev personalized feed actually works and is really simple and more user friendly than it was before. I want to now just quickly return to.
There are a lot of questions, and so I think it's better to answer them orally, because a lot of questions were in the meanwhile addressed by Marie in her presentation.
Yes,
So
definitely.
yeah,
I
I
see
think
it.
you can go through them in the order, and some are repeated, and I can
Oh wow,
support in
yes, I
the
see.
answer.
It's really a lot, but I would like to do it as follows. That as we will not have time. We have just 7 minutes to go through all of the questions, but I would like then address all of them in the thank you note, where I will create a small frequently asked question or question answer, where you will get the whole summary of all questions that you ask after today's webinars and today webinar. And I would like to ask you now if you actually would like to open your microphone and ask any question in the real time, because it can also facilitate the interaction. Because I was quite speaking a lot right now, so I would like to also hear other people to maybe open their microphone. And I already see that somebody raised their hand, and it's Nadia.
Hello. Hi, Marie. Thank you so much for the presentation. It's fantastic work. It's so fresh and exciting. Question. I want to search, but only within my group. How do I do that? I don't want to find out everything on Capacity4dev on a certain keywords. And then I've got a second question, the taglines. So I've already mentioned this in the email, humanitarian development, peace nexus. Can we review the taglines, when can we contribute to those? Over.
Definitely. Thank you, Nadia, for this question, because now we are also in a review of all of the texts and all of the topics of Capacity4dev. And this is also what we have in the pipeline in the upcoming weeks, where we would actually like to simplify the text and topics and to work more closely with the other units who are actually the experts in the field of, for example, the social protection. And maybe Ariella would like to say more details about this.
Yes, so the what we call the taxonomy, the topic taxonomy, that is what the topics you can tag the content with, and you can search. We revised it a little bit from the last website, but we would like to contact now all the relative units of INTPA for your advice on how to restrict them, because in some cases there are a lot. So we will come to you, to the units for the tags. While for the other question of the filters, how to search. So if you go on your group and you go under the discussions and under the library, under the members, under events, under each one, you can see filters. So there you can filter by many different filters, but also by keywords.
So I hope that this answers your question, Nadia. So we will be definitely in touch in
Thank you.
upcoming weeks for more development of the social protection. And I see that also Nyenke, if I pronounce the name
That's
good.
okay. Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on vacation, so I don't have my. But I wanted to see the.
You said that later today there's going to be a manual on how to, because I put a couple of questions too. It's like we and before also because our first priority is to rebuild our websites because everything is gone. So will there be a manual on how to do this? I know with the old platform you had really good information on if you want to reorder the content, change the labels, hide certain aspects. So it would be great to know how to do it so we can actually rebuild what we had. I mean, not fully, of course. And then the question also, the legacy website, it doesn't work. I tried to work it on and it says that the page doesn't exist. So I would like to go back to our old website so I can check how we had it and then see how far I can get it back the way we had it. Thank you.
Maybe I answer on this last question. So the legacy website is not accessible anymore. We can only access it as site admins with a special password. So if you would like to know something specifically, just write us an email and we will send you what you need. So what Marie was saying is that we will have access until the 31st of May to it. So if until then you have questions, please let us know so we can send you screenshots or copy paste of texts or something like that.
I will send a request then because I'm on vacation, so I don't have time to. Oh no, but I cannot access it anyway. Thank you.
So we really appreciate that you connected actually to our webinar even when you are on vacation. So thank you so much. And I think that the next one was Guy.
But I think that there was the first question about that you wanted to show probably the help and support. So the question about how to get information.
Yes, sorry. So actually, like if you are not sure about something, then you can just navigate yourself to help and support, which you can find in the footer of Capacity for Dev here, help and support. And here you can, for example, will find more instructions on how to manage your profile, browse and search, or everything about what you want to know about the groups. Also, there are like subcategories, or also you can search by, for example, some keywords that you would like to know something about the profile, and you will get here the brief summary about what you can find on this link. So this is also available for you in case that you will feel lost before you will before you will be reaching out to us to support at capacity4dev.eu.
And
now
we
I
have
would
build up this checklist. I don't know if you have received it, if you were there last time. So all owners and administrator of groups should have received it with a checklist of how to rebuild the site, the groups and projects.
Indeed, I will be also sending this in the follow-up email in case that somebody of you actually missed this revamp guideline.
I saw that one, but I could not. It didn't answer my questions. But I will next week. I will start looking around, and then I know where to find you if I have questions. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you so much. And now I would like to go to the guy. If
so, thank you very much. I have a question regarding personal assistance because, as you mentioned, sometimes it's not so easy to get the information. You can be lost in all the words, keywords, and all the informations. Even the checklist is not so easy to understand. I lost from the Desra website. I lost all the information which were put on the home page. There is no migration. I also lost all the PDF. I have sub pages related to projects linked to the Desra initiative, and there is no more PDF. So how we can have a personal assistance, because So we can try to find some information in all the resources you provided, but sometimes it's not so easy. And can we have a personal assistance?
So first of all, we would like to apologize for inconvenience, and we were definitely aware that the migration was a really big project as such, and that this can happen. And therefore, thank you for sharing this information, because we can then set up the call, personalized call with you, also with the IT team, to actually try to rebuild the page as it was before, or at least to find the documents where they are right now, and to help you with this inconvenience. So I would like you, if you can, please reach out to us to the support mailbox as well after this webinar, and I will then find a time slot with you, with me, and with our IT team, when we can then schedule a call with you so we can solve this issue together.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and Bianca, please.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. First of all, thank you. I think there are a lot of improvements and it looks great. Thank you for a lot of work, I imagine. I have three, hopefully very short questions. One, is it possible to change the dates? I know it used to be then often on websites, it's the date you actually publish. Can we, if there can be various reasons to change the date so that it's not the date of publication, but the date that the document was produced or something like that? Or do we ask you to do it again as in the past?
This is a very interesting question that actually I am dealing with for the first time. I think that nobody also asked me on our former platform. Therefore, I will need to investigate more in depth.
No problem.
But I am sure that we can at some point change it ourselves if it will not be possible to do it from your end. So again, don't hesitate to reach out to us on support mailbox, because unfortunately I'm not taking the notes right now, and it's much easier for me if I will receive the emails after this webinar. So I will also forward it to our specific departments. And yes, thank you so much
the
for
two other
sharing
questions.
this.
One is also linked to something that I might just need to follow up because it's very specific. One of our links no longer work. It's the newsletter subscription. So I don't know if this is something that's the case for others. We created this page that was somehow linked to MailChimp, if I'm not mistaken. So right now, you used to be able to click subscribe to the newsletter and you would have to fill in your main information, and that link is broken. So should I just send that to you as well so you can follow it? Or is this something that others have noticed?
Edit it yourself?
Sorry?
You cannot edit it yourself, the link? As a hyperlink, I mean, on the text?
I don't think so. I can look at it with some more IT savvy people than I guess, on my team. Yeah. So we can maybe give it a quick look before and try ourselves before we send it to you. But right now, as a user, if I press unsubscribe to newsletter, it just doesn't work anymore. But we can check first. Yeah. Because and the last question I have is a bit of a big question. So but simple answer, I hope. We're launching a new website next week, where most of it is linked to Capacity4dev development. And so we have tons of links to the old website. So can I assume correctly that all of those links will now just simply automatically be transferred, or is there anything else I need to be aware of and careful about?
Yes, indeed, there will be the automatic redirection from the former platform to the new one. Okay. And this is because there are really a lot of links. Also, I see that Patricia also has her hand raised, and she was also asking me about this question earlier this month. And indeed, this will definitely be automatic, because we cannot manually. It would be impossible to relink all of the links. And also
but
regarding,
maybe make sure, I mean, I would advise, as it happens that there are some documents that are lost or something, I would anyway double check. If it's so many to specific documents, I would check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you so much for sharing this, and we will be following up on these issues in a couple of hours or days as soon as possible. So and Patricia.
Yes, thank you. Hello. Thank you for the webinar. Well, what I think I will need a personalized session just to show you a few things that issues that I see. But my comment now maybe will help many people here in the meeting. What I see is that some links are broken because with the migration, the long links were cut to an extent. So, for example, the links in the index of the wiki page or the former wiki page are working well, but when you go to a page, a specific page, if you have links inside this page, many links are broken. But this doesn't mean that the document doesn't exist or the page doesn't exist. It does exist, but you have to find where it is, get the right link, and fix the link. And this will be, I believe, a huge work because we have many pages, many documents. So I have to check page by page and see and link by link, because for trainings, for example, on the page, I have to see if all the trainings we have done, if the links are working, and those of the new series, if they are actually working. But yeah, this is something that unfortunately happened, and I don't know if you shut down the former website, if we will be able to retrieve some links that we're not able to find, because fortunately I have a catalog of publications from which I can take a lot of links from. But in some cases, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this is really unfortunate that it happened. We also had another person who actually reached out to us, whose also documents were messed up all over the place of the group. So we will be trying to find the solution to this with our IT team, or at least like to trace what actually happened in these manners. I don't know.
Please send us by email this so that we can check before the end of the month, as we have access to the old website until the end of the month.
Mm-hmm. And there is also a question in the chat if the closure of the old website, if it can be delayed, actually. Maybe if there will be more of this.
We asked already, but okay. No.
All right. So and then Michal Potar.
Yes, yes, sorry. Okay. So apologies for the noise if I'm because I'm currently cooking for two young boys, so they can be a bit noisy. So quickly on the URL, I remember that we had the same issue. I think it was 5 years ago when we actually went from capacity4dev.eu.europa.eu to europa.eu/capacity4dev. So we went the other way around. And one of the solutions that we found at that time was to actually change the URL. So in the URL, you can find what are, if I'm not mistaken, relative URLs. So they are starting with a slash. And they are related to the above pages. And some of these relative URLs might have previous hierarchy that is not coherent with the website. So if you reconstruct the URL based solely on the page that you see, like let's say you're in the wiki and then you have the name of your page, then you see Capacity4dev/wiki name of your page. Sometimes you can just remove Capacity4dev and the URL will work. And this is something that we did in the past. So to be tested, but that's just food for thought. One of the things that I found really important is that in our group at the moment, we can only arrive on the latest news and the most recent activity, which, so one of our groups is actually a methodology group, and the recent activity is people connecting to the group, which is not at all relevant for the methodology aspects. And then we have like the latest templates that were uploaded in 2001. Whereas previously people landed on the wiki page, which made more sense because the wiki page was a hierarchy of pages of structure of guidance pretty much. And I was wondering if that was available, if we can make sure that we land in a group or a project to a specific page, and notably on the wiki.
Yes, thank you so much for your input. As I said, definitely with this URL issues, we will be consulting with the IT team. So I will be passing this, what you just said, to them, and we will try to solve this issue as soon as possible, because it's definitely not a pleasant feeling, because you are the valuable members and you were building your groups and projects for really long time, and we have now the ability to actually, this is also why we are having this webinar, to hear all of your struggles or issues. We were definitely expecting that it will not go as smooth as in maybe dreams, because this is always what the migration is about. It's not a really easy project, and this is also why we need the feedback from you. So definitely don't hesitate, not only to write after this webinar what you are struggling with right now, but anything else, any bug that you will find along the way of using the Capacity4dev. Write us an email on support@capacity4dev.eu, and we will be actually still in development of the platform to solve all of these inconvenient situations and the content that might be relinked. So I am already over time for 15 minutes. I don't know if Bianca would like to add something more, or is it just the raised hand from the previous question?
It was from the previous question,
Okay.
sorry.
So I think that we answered all of the questions that you had. I think that they were the most alarming, and thank you for sharing so much. I will be then answering all of your questions in the thank you note, because you were really proactive, and thank you so much for participating here. And I will then look forward to receive your request via email. I don't know, Ariela, if you want to add anything at the end of this webinar.
No, just that don't feel lonely. Everybody, I'm sure every owner administrator has some issues. We are still finding a lot of things to fix. So we are in the just post go live phase, which is normal to have issues, and we are here to fix them. So don't hesitate to let us know.
Exactly. And now we are already 15 minutes after time. So I wish you have a nice rest of the day. And I will be looking forward to communicate more of the action points or activities that we are actually planning for you within upcoming days and weeks and even months, because the Capacity4dev is now developing to more interactive, inclusive, and a user-friendly platform. So thank you so much for participating, and have a nice rest of the day.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.